Hi everyone, how's it going and welcome back to another video on the channel. Today we're looking at my current draft in FPL, and today I've decided to make a draft with Salah and Haaland in it. Similar to a lot of drafts, obviously, a lot of people are throwing about different template teams, but a lot without Salah in it. Salah's only 25% owned in FPL this year, and I feel like it's going to be very difficult not to have him within the first few game weeks. So I've decided to put together a draft and I thought I'd show you all today. So we're starting off with the defence. In goal we have Flecken for Brentford. Obviously a 4.5 million keeper, and with Onana coming in for Manchester United, he's probably going to end up a pretty popular pick. And I've decided to go against it because I don't think I want to be spending 5 million on a goalkeeper when there's so many good 4.5 million options in there. So I went for Flecken for now because he'll get saves, and he's obviously got some decent clean sheet potential as well as Brentford showed last season. In defence, we've got 4 at the back, starting with Cash. I would prefer to have Cash as a bench option, but unfortunately for this team it's not able. But I can try. I'm going to talk about finding 0.5 in the bank to try and maybe upgrade a player somewhere. But we've got Cash because I think Aston Villa are going to be very, very good this season. I would predict them at least top 7, maybe top 6. And they've got some decent fixtures off the start where I think Aston Villa could keep some clean sheets. Obviously, a lot of people are going for Paul Torres, but I don't think he's going to be as good for attacking and bonus points as Cash will be this season. So I've got Cash to start off. Next is Stupinan, a very popular pick, probably one of the most popular picks in FPL so far. Speaks for himself really. Brighton have good fixtures and he was very good last season. Gabriel as well, 5 million defender for Arsenal. Arsenal obviously have very good fixtures as well, and he's probably the most attacking for XG in terms of the Arsenal defence. And then finally we round it off with Shaw. He's probably my most likely to go in the team so far. I just don't think Man United have that many good fixtures. They've got Spurs away, Arsenal, and they've got Brighton as well in the first 5 fixtures. So I think he's probably not actually going to do that well off the start. Obviously, they've got Nottingham Forest at home and Wolves at home. That could be 2 clean sheets. You're looking at 2 out of 5 in the first 5 games. But at the same time, we've seen stranger things happen. Forest could easily get a goal and then you're down to 1 clean sheet in the first 5 games, and maybe we'll get an assist out of him, but I really don't think he'll be fantastic at the start. So I might end up downgrading him to an Akanji if he looks likely to be starting, and that way I can upgrade somewhere else and get Cash onto the bench. So next up we've got the midfield, and this is probably where the differentials kind of come into it. Not differentials as in very low end players, but kind of off template players. We've got Salah, we've got Son, and we've got Phil Foden. Obviously Salah, we've said already, is 25% owned, and I think he's going to be one of those players. He'll score a goal in the first game against Chelsea, and then he's got Bournemouth again at home in game week 2, and I think he's going to end up just skyrocketing in price, 0.1 maybe 0.2 million, especially if he scores 2 against Chelsea in game week 1. People are just going to be flooding to get him for game week 2, so I'm really struggling not to start with him. I think obviously if I was to take him out, I was between having Salah and a 4.5 million mid, or just having 2 8.5s, or was it? I think it was. I could have Saka and Bruno, or I could just have Salah. Obviously, with Saka and Bruno, I could then move Cash onto the bench because I've got an extra player in there. But I'm really struggling not to have Salah. Obviously, this video is having Salah in there, so I've stuck with Salah so far. Next, we've got Son. If you've been keeping up with my videos and on Twitter and stuff, you'll see I'm a big fan of Son this season. I think he's going to be fantastic under Postecoglou. And if you watched the friendly yesterday, if you've seen anything in the friendly yesterday with West Ham, Spurs had 31 shots, I think 13 on target. And I think that's the first game, and I think Spurs are going to be shooting from everywhere this season, scoring so many goals. And I think Son and Kane are going to be absolutely on fire this season. So I'm going to start with Son because he's a big differential, I think. think he's only maybe 6% owned. I could be wrong, but I think he'll be fantastic. And then we've got Phil Foden, 7.5 million, easily the best 7.5 million pound player, especially with the amount of players that are leaving Man City. Obviously, with Gundogan leaving, opens up a centre mid spot for maybe one of the wingers to drop in there. And then for wingers, we've got Mahrez, who is looking to be off to Saudi. Bernardo Silva looking for a move to PSG as well. And I think Foden's got something to prove this season. I don't think he was a regular starting 11 player last year. I think he's really going to want to solidify himself in the team. So I think he'll be very good, especially at the start, and especially with the fixtures that Man City have. I think it's going to be difficult not to have two attackers from Man City. And rounding off the team then, if you haven't been able to tell, we're playing a 4-3-3. We've got Gabriel Jesus, Erling Haaland and Nkunku in there. Now, again, Nkunku, slight differential. Maybe not, again, in the grand scheme of things, but in terms of the template, definitely a differential. I think with Chelsea's fixtures, within the first 6 game weeks on a fixture difficulty planner, Chelsea have the second easiest fixtures just behind Man City. And I think Nkunku is going to be the main man up front for them. If not up front, at least in the attack. So I wanted to start with him. I think if he starts off well, if he gets on penalties as well, it could be very, very good and get some good points off the start. Obviously Erling Haaland in there, not much to say about that. And then Gabriel Jesus, I feel like he's going to be able to cover Saka, which helps with the decision to put Salah in there as well. And I feel like Jesus is going to be back on good form again this season. But if we're looking at that team, I think it looks fantastic. It looks very attacking. 3 great midfielders, 3 great strikers, and then a decent defence. Main points looking at it of who's not there is obviously Trent Alexander-Arnold. I think he's one, if I was to wildcard early, he'd definitely come in. I think with the Liverpool team, once the fixtures get a bit better, it's going to be maybe even triple Liverpool for me. But off the start, obviously Salah being fixture proof, don't really have to worry about the fixtures there. But then for Trent, clean sheets, etc., probably wait until the fixtures get a bit better. Man United attackers, obviously not there either. Rashford and Bruno. Just going to have to hope that they don't do too well. Really betting for Salah to outperform them there anyways. And now we have the full team there as well with the bench. Obviously the bench isn't as strong as I would like it to be, but as I said, I could hopefully downgrade maybe a Shaw down to a 5 million player. For the rest of the team, maybe not so much. Obviously if Flecken could become Heaton, I doubt it because I think Flecken will be good. I think really the only downgrade that could happen there is Shaw coming down to a 5 million player, and then I can upgrade the bench a bit. But as I said, hopefully Son and Salah, gambling on them to outscore the Man United players. And Nkunku, as I said, Chelsea have great fixtures. I feel like it'd be hard not to have at least one Chelsea player in there. One Arsenal attacker as well, could be 2, but again I'm hoping for Jesus to outscore Saka. Just all to have Salah in the team basically. And as I said, big fan of the double City attack, especially with their first few fixtures. So this team's slightly set up for an early wild card, maybe game week 8. That way we can bring all the Liverpool guys in, get the City guy, the City guys, get Foden out, maybe a Stupinan out as well when the fixtures start to turn. But that is everything. I thought I would come on again and show what I thought was a very, very good Salah and Haaland draft. If you enjoyed, please leave a like and subscribe, and I'll see you all in the next one.